So do you want to start the?
Oh, start the podcast?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I would let you do it this time because I feel like kind of like I don't know, I just kind of have been doing it a lot, and I think that maybe I feel like you can handle it. Like I'm kind of trusting you a lot to.
Not
all right, it's not working. Hey guys, welcome, welcome back to iCast Fish's Mockery. This is Austin.
I'm Matt.
No, I'm Matt.
I'm Austin.
We tricked you. You didn't even know it, but we tricked you into thinking that we were. Well, like I was him. No, he was. It doesn't matter right now. So listen, we got some great stuff for you today. This one's going to be a real winner.
I can tell. I can tell already. Real winner, 100%. I agree.
If you were going to bet on this one, if you're going to bet on any of them, it would be this one.
Yeah, bet on this one. This horse is...
Yeah.
It's
almost like the other horse's name is Seabiscuit. Like, why would you bet on...
Yeah, some weird name like Seabiscuit.
No, that's stupid.
Well, this one's slated to win, though, so the odds are a little bit worse, but you're almost guaranteed your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like most of your money back.
At least.
Some of it.
Yeah. All right. So we've got a few subjects we'd like to go over today.
We'll start with math first.
And we'll get into reading.
Mm-hmm.
And then
what do they call it now? History, social studies, world geography. Like I've heard a lot of names for the same class. It was social studies for us in grade school.
Yeah. World cultures.
World cultures. Did you take that in high school?
I did take world cultures in high school. Yeah, that's what it was called.
We had history, but we also had government.
Yeah, we had government.
That was one, and that there might have been other ones too, but that was mostly what we had.
Well, that's mandated, I think.
Yeah. By
the government.
What?
I can't
believe it. Oh my God. Do we just blow this wide open? Guys, if you never hear from us again...
It's because...
You know why.
You know why.
Wait, why would they let us... You know why they would let us do this?
Why?
Why they'd let us post this after we blew this wide open and then we make us disappear, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's because it seems like that would be a risky thing for a government to do.
Yeah.
But what if they... I don't know. Like, most people are just going to be like, that's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Most people are just going to be like, yeah, that's silly. I'm sure their disappearance has nothing to do with that. And then the people who are crazy enough, they're going to be afraid.
Yeah.
But they also can't talk about it then. They can't like go to their friends and be like, hey, did you hear about those guys who disappeared after they mentioned the whole government deal?
Yeah, on their
podcast
on episode 3 of their Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
Yeah, on episode 3. Oh, is that what this is about? Why do we keep changing it? Why is it a different thing every time, guys? That's why. You know why? We know that you guys have those sort of what's that word?
I got nothing for you, man. I don't know what you're trying to say right now.
Those flippity floppity 21st century minds that just wander all over the place. They can't be held on one topic for more than 30 seconds. We understand.
Oh, yeah.
We feel ya.
Yeah, we're gonna flip and flop subjects all day long.
Yeah, I mean, we clearly don't have that problem. But we know that you as a listener do.
We work really, yeah.
Now let's talk about something that captures my interest a little bit here.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk about how do I cast spells good?
Yeah. You mean like when you're role playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think where you start when you cast a spell in character is you look at the components and then you do them, right? And you can decide whether or not you want to narrate it, really. But I think it's important because then it's on your mind. Because I think that some of the challenge of the game is that spells require components,
Mm-hmm.
and there's always a fine line
Yeah.
with how much how much of your time you spend on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that when you cast a spell, if it has verbal components, make up some silly thing to say.
Well, so
why
one,
not?
yeah, I feel that different categories of spells for different classes, the verbal component can be different.
Yeah, it depends what it is.
For a wizard, I would expect them to say something in a different language. Like, you could use actual Latin.
Yeah.
You could use some other language that the other people in your party don't speak.
Mm-hmm.
You could make up something.
Yeah.
But I feel like what they do is equivalent to somebody in the real world studying, ancient Latin, Greek, or whatever, and reciting Bible passages or something, right? Like, it's a similar kind of deal.
Exactly.
Then you've got sorcerers.
Yeah, their magic is inherent in them.
So I don't know what they should say at all.
I was thinking something like power phrase,
like
something that it just like comes.
I have big pee.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you get the magic to come out.
Yes, I have a big truck, and
what? Oh,
what? No, you say. Well, I'm thinking similar to like in Aragon, where they have just phrases that translate into magical spells, right?
Yeah.
Like the verbal component.
What you say in the Aragon lore is the things that you say in the ancient language, which I think was just called the ancient language.
I don't remember.
They literally mean the thing that you... So if you say the word for fire in English, it is referring to fire. Mm-hmm. If you say the word for fire in the ancient language, it is fire. Like, the word is the thing. Right,
exactly. So you could do that. Now, I think it depends, though, on the subclass of Sorcerer.
Because, we won't get into all of those today, but we could try.
Well, let's just use an example, maybe.
Uh-huh.
So one, the I think Player's Handbook, or the one common Sorcerer subclass is Draconic Bloodline. Mm-hmm. You're descended from a dragon, so you have innate magical abilities, right?
Oh, I think I see where this is going. I think I see where it's going.
Yeah, Draconic is then the power phrase.
So it's Skyrim.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, it's the same thing. And then it would just depend on what your subclass is sort of the verbal component would be that.
Yeah.
Would be a cool way to do it. These aren't rules. These are just cool role-playing suggestions.
They're basically like the law.
Yeah.
They're not like rules that you can break. They're like laws that you can break and be punished for.
Right. It's like the opposite of what they say in Pirates of the Caribbean. These are more like laws than actual guidelines.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so a warlock is, I think, easier than a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is every time you cast a spell, you got to be like, hey, up there, could you help me out?
Yeah. Hey, give me this thing.
I could really use a little bit of some of that fire right now.
Right. Yeah, you could even say it in whatever language common. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. All right, so those are good. Bards. Well, first of all, you could actually sing.
Yes.
I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
I would say, if you're a bard, you could replace the verbal and somatic components with playing an instrument that's like a woodwind or a brass instrument.
Yeah, I think so.
If you're playing a lyre or some other string, like a dulcimer or a guitar, or if you're playing the drums too, you have to do a verbal component. So the drums, I would do it like a taiko drummer where they shout.
Oh yeah.
Like while they're drumming, that's how you do it with that. With guitar, who's that guy? That guy.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean.
He plays those. I can't even think of his songs now. He's that guy who plays guitar and he sings.
I just wanted that to sink in for a second there.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
He's that guy that plays guitar and sings.
Yeah,
Cool.
no, the one who's good at guitar though.
Uh-huh.
But he does pop music now.
Okay.
Like he always has done pop music, but he's really recent, and I don't remember his name. I also don't care that much right now. But anyway, so you would do something like that if you have a stringed instrument. But I think that playing a wind instrument would count as verbal and somatic.
Yes, because
you can't talk while you play a flute. You can, I mean, kind of, but
yeah, sort of.
It's not good.
Because I think that the purpose of having components is so that you can that they can be taken away from you, like the ability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's fine for a bard to use an instrument because it achieves the same thing. Like, you could stop somebody from being able to cast spells by casting silence, right?
Yeah.
If the spell requires verbal components, now they can't cast it because, the vibrations can't be emitted in that area now. So it applies the same way if they're playing an instrument, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't actually, it's basically just flavor at that point. Really
Although I guess the one problem with that is with playing a woodwind instrument, it depends on how precise you have to be, because if you're deafened, normally you wouldn't be able to do a verbal component of a spell correctly. I mean, I guess you could.
Yeah.
But it's not likely that you'd be able to. It would definitely disrupt it. You could technically play a flute while deaf, though. Because it's, it's all muscle memory.
It's all, that kind of stuff.
So as long as... And I say that as someone who plays a flute.
Yeah.
Relatively proficiently. Like, I don't have to hear it to know that I'm pressing the right buttons to make the right notes.
Yeah, you probably get a feel for whether or not the air is coming out the right way.
Would it come out, like, on pitch exactly? No. It'd actually be really bad. You really have to listen hard, or I have to really listen hard to get the right pitch exactly. But I'd be within a half tone, which, I mean... That's pretty good. It would look the same written.
Yeah, I think that. But you could say that because you're deafened, the playing isn't as good as it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
honestly, I don't know what the rules are exactly for that. But again, that doesn't really matter.
Well, it's a made up thing. Like
exactly.
I think normally you can't just play an instrument to count as the verbal component of a spell.
Sure.
Now, what about... clerics are easy too. They just say prayers.
Yeah.
What do paladins do?
They shout.
They just go like, "Ah!"
Yeah, because that's their thing.
Die, paladin! Ah!
Yeah, maybe they have like an anime-esque catchphrase, like "Believe it,"
Yeah.
But it's probably something to do with whatever their oath is.
I have a really good paladin idea waiting.
All right.
In case
culminating.
Either of my characters dies.
All right.
Or if they don't die, next campaign, I can't wait for this paladin. But that's perfect for this character.
Yeah.
That is perfect.
Having a catchphrase, shouting it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are other classes that can cast some spells, right?
Right.
So there's rangers have minor spell casting.
They can.
Certain subclasses of like rogue can also cast spells. Artificers.
Yeah, artificers. I guess they're a weird one. Well, no, they're not that weird. I would say they would just do the same thing as a wizard. Rangers and rogues can kind of copy a wizard or a bard.
I guess it depends on what spell list they're from. Rangers have their own spell list, sort of.
Yeah.
Oh, druids. How could we forget about
druids. Oh, yeah, druids.
Druids are... I can't believe I forgot druids. They're another main spell casting class.
Shoot, what do they do?
That's a tough one. Verbal components for druids.
How I be druid?
I love nature. Nature's great. Like, what are they?
Oh, you could just say something in tree speak.
Yeah, like
if that's a thing.
Yeah, the Ent language. And
you could just you could just go like, "Awoo!"
Make animal noises.
Just make animal noises.
Oh my god, I'd love that in a campaign to have the verbal components. A druid where the verbal components are animal noises.
All right, quick! You got to use this spell, but be quiet. Okay. Awoo. No.
Sorry. Force of habit.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Oh man. Sorry to you headphone listeners.
Oops. Do we mention this is an ASMR podcast? Get real close. Get in here real close now.
Turn up the volume.
Yeah. Don't do that.
No, don't do that. Yeah. So lots of potential for spell casting. Verbal components.
Yeah, the verbal components. I think, like, had I thought of this ahead for Edward, I would have come up with a bunch of prayers that sound like Bible verses, but are like crappy.
Yeah.
Like Walmart Bible verses.
The Walmart Bible verse.
Yeah, because when he uses them, the whole point is that it's a scam. That it's supposed to. You know what? I would go on r/I'm 14 and this is deep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I would just like look through there for things for him to say.
Yeah.
During his attack. But now, so what about the somatic component?
Yep. Okay.
How do you like? This is going to come across really well on a podcast too.
Yeah. What the somatic components are.
Where we talk about how your fingers wiggle around while you do the spells.
Right.
That'll be really helpful, I think, for the people at home listening.
Yeah, well...
Or at work, or wherever they are.
I'm
not saying you have to be at home, but you do for our later segment today. Just get ready for it. Just telling you now.
It's again, just... It's all flavor, right? So you need to be able to move your hands around in some way for somatic components.
So you just, pull out the blood symbol.
Yeah, yeah, you do. Yeah, you go blood. Yeah, your character's in a gang.
Or you, snap your fingers,
Yeah.
West...
That's the verbal and somatic components.
That can be your bard. They're like in a musical. Their life is just a musical, and they come up doing and you're like, what are you doing? And they say something, and it's like,
they cast Thunderwave, 6th level, you know.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
I'd be loud.
I figured out how Thunderwave works, by the way, like how it's supposed to hit.
Yeah, we figured it out, didn't we? Did we do it right?
It's really complicated.
So is it really?
Yeah, you can cast it.
Okay.
And you are at the corner or the center of one of the faces of the cube, the 15-foot cube.
Yep. Gotcha.
So you could put yourself somehow, you could put yourself at the center of one of the faces and have it come out from here. But it wouldn't reach 15 feet in front of you exactly, necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it counts this part that you're in, so it actually only reached 12 and a half feet.
Oh, 12 and a half feet.
Yeah, or something like that. I think it's easier to just go 15 feet and be able to center it on yourself. Because you can technically center it on yourself if you pick the bottom face of the cube or the top face of the cube.
Oh, and
as the one that's in you.
And okay.
And oh my God. Just do it, jump up in the air and give him a nice little Wario Thunderwave.
Just toot on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the way to do it if you've got stuff all around.
Now, that wins bonus points for the somatic component right there.
If you fart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's how the spell comes out.
Yeah.
And you have to clench up and you gotta get all... Yes. That is good enough for me because you can take that away by just not letting them move or whatever. Yeah. If you're handcuffed, it still wouldn't work maybe or something, I'm sure. But going from just hands to requiring hands and full body, yes, that counts for me. I would say.
Yeah. Well, hey, man. Well, your hands are definitely involved.
Yeah.
They'd have to be.
Yeah, if you're going to do it like Wario, man.
Yeah. But somatic component, they could be as subtle as some hand weight. You can do that you're right. This is going to come out really weird on a podcast.
Oh yeah.
But I've got good descriptions, I think.
Yeah.
So you could do real simple stuff like Doctor Strange making the portals, just twirling your fingers around, right? Or you could go full out you could do Naruto hand signs.
I like the Naruto hand signs.
I think that's cool.
That's you could also you could have to say the spells incantation in sign language.
Oh, there you go.
In actual American Sign Language or other sign language.
Right, in some kind of sign language.
Yep.
You could also
or semaphore.
Like full.
You have to spell it.
You have to spell it out with the
guys. It's just I'm casting vicious mockery. This is just it'll just be 5 minutes. Just be 5 minutes. Give me.
I just got to get my flags out. Yeah. So, or you could go full on like Sentai, like warrior, like full body. Like
pose and everything,
like,
which is I guess that's similar to semaphore, isn't it?
Yeah, or like JoJo style poses as you do it.
Now that's something I would love. Well, so if you try to do it to be funny, it wouldn't be funny. But if your character is dead serious about it,
that would be funny.
That's hilarious.
If they're serious about it,
yeah. If like that's how it actually works for them, and that's the only way to do it. Mm-hmm. And they're like, all right, that's it. I'm going to fireball you. And then they, fireball.
Exactly. Like, full on Goku style,
If you can give that the right delivery, I don't even think it would get old.
Yeah, no.
But that's the other thing I want to talk about with this.
Okay.
Is like, all right, so the first time you cast something, or maybe if you don't want people to know what it is right away when you cast it, then you would definitely want to just describe what your character's doing. Mm-hmm. But eventually, do you just give up on that? Do you just go like, all right, this is the little fireball cutscene. We'll just skip it.
Yeah. Well, okay.
For me, if it's a huge battle, lots of bad guys, and I know I'm going to use all my spell slots, I'm probably not going to talk about how my character pulled out their holy water to cast bless again. Yeah. But there are situations where it's cooler to explain it maybe. But what do you think?
Majora's Mask cutscenes. When you put on the different masks, the first time you do it, unskippable cutscene.
Right.
Every other time you do it, you can pick whether or not.
So what we need in D&D then is to have everybody holding a controller.
Yeah,
and like if you have majority hitting the skip button, that's it. You just skip whatever is going on.
Right, but the first time you do it, full on. And I think that's that's totally up to discretion. Like anime, like
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, like
Sailor Moon. Are you thinking
of
transformation scenes?
Yeah, like Sailor Moon or like
Dragon Ball Super.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
This one episode.
Okay.
They did a transformation sequence, the same transformation sequence, and the same series of shots. Mm-hmm. I think 10 times. It was in the World Tournament arc or whatever that arc was called. It
was usually for budgetary reasons, but
I have no idea why. It was a joke. It was a joke. Like I don't even think it was bad. I think they were making a joke.
That's great. That's kind of great though.
Yeah, every time it happened, I was like, "Oh no, not this again!"
And it's like 15 seconds, but it feels like an hour and a half.
It was a minute and a half.
Really?
It was like a minute and a half, and they did it 10 times in the episode. There was almost nothing else the entire episode.
That's amazing.
It was insane.
That's amazing. Well, that's what I mean. So, like the first season of those kinds of shows, they show the whole transformation sequence
a few times, every
episode,
to make sure everyone has seen it.
Right, and then after season 1 or like after it's good, they shorten it.
Yep.
Right. I think that's totally fine. Like if you want to play up your character and be like you want to describe it fully, but keep it. I think that no matter what it is, you should keep it pretty brief. Your description of it. Like even the first time.
Unless the situation is utterly desperate.
Right.
Like if your whole party is like almost down.
Yeah.
And like this is it.
Yeah, this is
and like you've got to do something right now.
Yeah.
And you describe how your character struggles to sort of turn to their side so they can move their arm. Right? And they roll over a little bit and then they start to bring their hands together. And then you do the hand signs real slow because that's as fast as you could do it right now. And then they, say whatever phrase it is, or they, they do the incantation. Then all of a sudden, boom, like just like they get hit, like I guess everybody gets hit by meteors or whatever, whatever spell they cast.
They cast meteor swarm. Dang, man.
Yeah. Well, I
That's
mean,
intense.
some people save their high level spell slots till they really need them.
Yeah, really the last second there. Yeah, well, it's not a bad idea.
Actually, so let's talk about that. What do you
Okay.
think about saving items and saving spell slots? Because I'll tell you, in video games, at least I used to be the kind of person who would go through Pokemon, never use any of the items on the ground, and have just way too many at the end of the game. And I'd grind up, so I'd be way over leveled.
Oh.
And so there was no chance I would ever need these items.
I'm 100% the same way. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Now I don't know if I am that way anymore. I think sometimes I am, but generally speaking, I think I'm more willing to take risks now, and I enjoy trying to use stuff as soon as I can, almost like that's the game. Like I want to use all these items and get rid of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if a game is good, it's going to give you the things that you need when you need them.
Right.
Usually.
But D&D is tricky.
Yeah. Well, that's
it's
true.
not a good game.
Well,
is that?
It can be. It depends. It depends on how you want to play it.
Yeah.
And again, it's all about how you want to play it. Like you can play it however you want, really. But I think that a DM could make it more designed like that, where you get stuff that you need before you need it.
Yeah.
But it's not always like that.
Well, and it's tricky with spell slots, right? Like you.
That's true.
So I'm playing a cleric,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm playing. What's that class called? Say it again. What Liam is?
Oh, an artificer.
Artificer, yes.
Yes.
And he's an artillerist as well. So that means that my spell slots only come back on a long rest for both of those.
Oh, yeah.
There's like no... clerics get their channel divinity back on short rest.
Yeah.
But basically, if I don't long rest, my characters are useless. However, if we die in battle, my character is also useless.
Okay. I
So
see where you're
when
going.
a battle comes up,
Yeah.
should I keep a spell slot in reserve? Should I really save that one spell or something? I mean, maybe one spell. Like for my cleric, he has what's that one that heals everybody? That one. He's got that.
Mass healing word or something.
Yeah, and it's 10 minutes to cast, but
Oh, prayer of healing.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So he's got that, which is great but it can't be used in battle. Obviously, well, it could.
That would be a weird use of your turns.
Yeah, a long battle.
Still casting prayer of healing.
Yeah, just to give me. I got 37 more turns to go, guys. Now that's a Dragon Ball thing right there.
10 rounds. Yeah. Casting spirit.
Like for 5 episodes, Goku's holding it up. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna win, but just give me all your energy." And then he whiffs it.
Yeah. Then he misses. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Or he hits and it just doesn't work.
Oh, did that happen too?
Yeah, both of those happened at different times. The one time he missed, and then he was like, "Ha! Joke's on you! I can actually move that thing around. I didn't throw it at you. I was just, pushing it around with my mind." So it
really?
comes back and hits.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought he missed.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So what do I do? Do I use my spell slots right away? I feel like I should be using a bunch of them in combat, but maybe I should be walking up there with Edward's mace out more often and whacking people or something. I don't know.
That's a tough thing with lower levels, I think. And that's why I think that delivering on magic items. I actually looked at. Okay, so I'm using a lot more resources. It's hard to sort of make it up on your own when you're not super experienced with the game. Especially being a DM for the game. Again, I'm not super experienced with it myself even. But it's hard to tell when you're giving enough or not enough or too much of any resource. But actually, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, I just looked at that again recently, and it had the answer to one of those questions in it. Obviously, just it's not an answer; it's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, it said in levels 1 through 4, the party should have, I think it said something, I want to say 6 to 8 magic items.
Whoa.
I know, that sounds like a lot, right?
Yeah.
But it said it had like a certain number of minor magic items, and I think it includes consumables.
Mm.
So, like, one use only stuff.
Yeah, like potions.
Potions or spell scrolls. I think that, so it said minor items, quote unquote, which I think are consumables. I think that's what it means. Or like utility stuff that's not useful in combat, stuff like that. And then it said like 2 major items, quote unquote, that are really useful.
Mm-hmm.
And then it like just, it continuously increases. So like level 5 through 10, it said they should be getting 6 more major items. And it's something crazy like 26 minor items.
Well, especially, so something like a consumable, a strength potion.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You take that, really, my opinion is, don't save that. You can get another one eventually, depending on your setting, I guess. If it's a super low magic setting, and it's really rare to find a potion like that, still don't save it. It's going to be cooler when you use it.
Yeah, it's
right?
not cool sitting in your inventory.
No, it's not very cool at all there. And what are you saving it? So if you're winning without it, if you're killing all the bad guys, whatever else you do, if you're doing all that stuff without the potion, then why does it matter if you drink it? Right? Like, you could just drink it anytime you want, because you clearly don't need it, but it would be fun to use.
Yeah, sure.
And if you're not winning, then drink it.
Then you.
But what I think is you should use it the first chance where it would be a cool thing to do. Not like some goblin walks up to you and is like, "Hey, give me all your money," and your party of level 10 characters is like, "All right, guys, let's pot up," and they drink all the potions. That's like a MMO terminology. They say pot up.
Okay.
It's short for potion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That it just sounds weird when you say it out loud. I don't think I ever have. Anyway, so they all drink the potions and then I don't know, wreck this level 2 goblin. So that's not cool. But the first chance where it would be cool, it doesn't even have to be in combat. Like, honestly, it might not be. Like, you're busting into some building that has like these super strong doors and walls and whatever. It's like very...
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You got a door that's giving you trouble. Drink a strength potion.
Give that door trouble.
Through it. Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows the doors are the toughest enemy in D&D. Doors are the hardest.
that has held true so far in your campaign, at least.
Yeah.
Thanks for blowing us up with that door right away.
Well, I wanted you guys to know.
Yeah, I know.
That doors are not
we talked
always
about it.
Good. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm about to throw something else like that at you guys, but who knows when? What? And who knows what I even mean by that? What?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty vague. That's almost like not saying anything.
It's not.
You got to be honest.
I didn't really say anything. Anyway, yeah. So I think that maybe that was it. No, it was. I was gonna say that it maybe wasn't a fair way to teach that lesson, but I take that back. I think it was the perfect way to teach that lesson, because there was nothing else. There were no other dangerous things in there,
and there were no long-term consequences or anything for
exactly
for a small decision like that.
Right, exactly. In that particular instance, it didn't really matter that you guys set off a trap and got injured by it, because even if somebody went unconscious, there was nothing stopping you from stabilizing them and healing them.
Right.
Like that. Yeah, exactly. So I think that was a nice way to introduce the fact.
Really, I mean, that's using the Mario teaching style anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like World 1-1. A single Goomba walks up to you, and that's the first thing you run into, and you're like, shoot, what do I do? And you press all the buttons, and you're like, well, if that thing, first of all, it's probably going to kill you the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but then you're like, okay, well, if that thing kills me when I touch it, I can just go up.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I have a button that makes me go up.
And
I found it.
Yeah.
Because there were 2 buttons that I could pick from.
Right.
Phew. So then you jump over it the next time, and then you jump over the next one, but you hit your head on a block and you bump into it, but then, ooh, the block did something when you hit it. It didn't just stay completely still, it moved. I wonder what happens if I hit these other blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that kind of thing.
And then you land on top of the Goomba and you're like, oh,
yeah,
if I touch it from the top, it's good for me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So introducing something in isolation like that,
mm-hmm.
and then introducing another thing in isolation, and then another thing, and then try and tie two of those together, and then these two, and then these two, then putting it all together into that's the right way to go.
Yeah, I think part of the issue though is that happened a long time ago.
Right. I remember it because my character almost died.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I think everybody would remember it too, but they might not necessarily be like, "Oh, guys, this is a door. We should check for traps."
Right. Well, until it happens again.
Until it happens again. And then they'll be like, so if you keep spacing it out as much as it has been, and you just do the same thing, door trap, we will never, ever catch on. Because it's too, you can't, like, I could detect magic every time we come across a door, but that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's insane to do that, right?
Well, yeah, it lasts a while. Detect magic, doesn't it last like 1 or 10 minutes or something? When you cast it?
Yeah, but like, what if I come across 3 doors, 30 minutes apart each?
Oh, yeah.
In a day. There goes all my spell slots.
Your spell slots, yeah. I guess that's true.
I can't fight then. Or I could, because I can, like Liam, he has the Eldritch Cannon, so.
There are other ways to find traps, and not all traps are magic.
Man, the Eldritch Cannon is not looking so hot at level 5.
Really?
As it did at level 2 or whatever, or when he got it. Yeah, it still only does 2d8 of damage.
Yeah.
Which, he's got spells now that are stronger than that by a pretty good amount. And other characters have spells that are way stronger than that. But actually, it does get better. I think at level 10 or something, it goes to 3 or 4d8, which is nice. And I think it goes up one more time after that. Maybe at level 20.
But until then, it feels...
Well, the other thing, though, too, is I think at level 20, you get 2 cannons.
Nice.
Yeah, that's insane.
Not until level 20, huh? Well,
yeah.
Maybe
some people play with a thing that lets you get to earlier at like 15 or something.
Yeah, is that like a homebrewed type of thing? Or
I don't remember. I'll have to look.
I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to listen to any ideas that anybody has about their character or what they'd like to do.
Well, I don't want to make Liam overpowered because he's gonna have some other stuff at his disposal.
That's true. Like little things though, I think are fine. Like for example, Summit, I think is the one that I'm thinking of. Part of her backstory is she likes climbing things.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave her an innate climbing speed, which is the same.
Oh,
as
you're gonna love my paladin.
Actual speed. Oh yeah.
Yeah, my paladin.
Yeah.
Has a special ability.
Okay.
To roll up.
Mm-hmm.
And then when hit from the top, has an infinite armor class, but only from the top.
Okay. Is he an armadillo?
No.
All right.
Do we want to talk about this? I don't know if I could tell you about this right now. I should be able to. It should be fine.
That's up to you, man. It's your character that you made that you may or may not be bringing out.
We'll do it. I got a character for you.
Okay. It's character time.
Let's meet Tama V.
Tama V.
That's its name.
Okay.
So
its name. Interesting.
Yeah. It's a Warforged. So that's why it doesn't have a... Mm-hmm. It's a Warforged Paladin.
Interesting.
Because I was thinking, how would you make a Warforged Paladin? It doesn't seem like a Warforged should be able to be like, hey, I'm pledging fealty to you, god of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured it out.
Okay.
Tama V was made.
Yes.
In a lab.
Uh-huh.
By a scientist who was working with divine energies.
Okay.
He found a way to hack them, basically.
Nice.
So he hacked into the weave or some other thing like that.
Yeah, the divine gate or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So he hacked into this, and he made little robot paladins.
Cool.
And they're ball shaped. That's where the Tama part is.
Okay.
Tama V though.
Okay. Yeah, I'm following so far.
is shaped like how you would think Tama Go would be shaped. It's an egg. It's egg shaped. That's why it has infinite armor class when it rolls up.
That's an egg.
Yeah, just from the top.
Just from the top.
However, it takes a movement speed penalty when it goes into that form, like a big penalty because it's an egg and it doesn't roll well.
Mm-hmm.
It is also programmed the same as the other ones. He didn't bother to change it, so it thinks it's faster in that form.
Okay. And the other ones are faster.
The other ones are actually, except they're all dead except for one.
That's Tama 5.
No, Tama 13 survived as well. Because Tama 13 destroyed the other ones.
Oh, man.
By stomping on them.
Oh.
Tama 5 survived because it was rolled up.
Okay.
All right. So, but no, here's why Tama 13 went crazy.
Okay.
What this guy thought he was doing, hacking into the weave or whatever.
Uh-huh.
No. It was all orchestrated by Orcus. The
Okay.
entire thing.
Uh-huh.
And when he finally made a robot good enough to be an avatar, to be a, what's that called? Scion for him.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, all right, we're done here. And then it went on a rampage and destroyed everything. And it is actually planning on summoning Orcus. However, the hacking stuff, it did actually work. So Tama Go is actually a paladin of one of the other gods who I haven't decided on, I think.
Yeah.
So like that, it actually does gain those abilities. But, you know.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now. It
was all a setup.
That would fit literally perfectly into my campaign setting.
Uh-oh.
Perfectly.
Well, I don't want any spoilers, but...
You're right. I'm not going to tell you anything else. But if Liam dies, or if you choose at some point to stop playing him, and you want to play that paladin,
that might happen because Liam has his own priorities, and at some point he'll be done with that. Like he'll have started his whole deal. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. We'll get there when we get there. But there's plans in place for that kind of stuff, but I'm excited about that idea. That's cool. That's fun. Yeah.
He's a goofy little one, but that also he like runs on not even quite an AI. It's like, and I do know how AI and machine learning and stuff kind of works. I've done some of it, but at least back in college I did. I haven't really done much with it since then.
Technology's probably tripled.
Yeah, it's mostly the same stuff. It's built on the same principles. Yeah. I haven't seen any new... I mean, there's new techniques in the same areas, but I haven't seen any new sort of types of it come up. But anyway, as a result of that, he has actual emotions and stuff. Yep. But not an actual face. So he has to like show emoticons on his face.
He's got like a screen face.
He's got a screen face.
That's great.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I also am excited for how his spells work because he's going to run programs too.
Oh, divine programs. Man, this is so cool. No, I know exactly where that would go. Okay, I think it's time.
Oh, do you hear that wobbly bubbling at home there? Do you guys hear that bubbling? Do you hear that? Do you hear it? Because something is brewing at your home. I'm assuming you're listening at home, like I said to you earlier. This is the segue I planned earlier. Remember when I started telling you about it?
Yeah, the segue. Yeah.
That was a good segue.
That was a good segue.
We're talking about Homebrew.
All right, guys. Yeah, we've got a little segment here that we'll name some other time. But we're going to talk about some Homebrew stuff that I found on the internet. Yeah. I'm gonna throw two Homebrew. These are both from Reddit. r/unearthed arcana.
Now, so you told me you got one funny one. Yep. And one like cool one.
Yeah. Which one do you think I should start with?
Do it random, and I'll try to guess which one's which. What do you think about that?
Okay. I don't think that'll be that hard.
No, you don't think so?
No. No, especially since
I've already
you already
heard
know what
one of them.
one of them is. So.
Then again, I don't know if it's the funny one or the cool one.
Yeah, maybe that's true. So this one might be showing up in Cataclysmic Rift.
Ooh!
that I'm DMing here.
Sneak preview. I hope you guys are listening.
Yeah. But I found that this nobody's sending this to us. I found this on Reddit. So I guess
if you guys want to send us stuff,
you certainly can. Yeah, please do.
You can send us mail at. I'll just put in the address later when I edit this. I'll just put that in later.
Yeah, we don't have
we gotta get a PO box.
PO box or something.
We're not doing that this time. I'm just joking.
No, we're not going to accept mail. But it comes to us from user Nat1s, NATWUNS. That's pretty clever. But this is an elemental hydra.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound fun to deal with.
So it's a hydra. This actually it's challenge rating 4, which isn't that high.
No.
So
we should be able to handle that technically.
I would scale it up probably, since you guys are
Rats.
7 of you and you're level 5. So
dang it.
yeah.
I thought I'd get him.
To give you guys just fought 2 water elementals. Those are challenge rating 4. So
yeah, but I didn't even mess them up like I was planning on.
I know. I was actually going to send a 3rd one, but it just felt like it was taking a long time.
Yeah.
So I didn't. Anyway, so this is a large monstrosity. It is unaligned. We're going to link to this, by the way, but I'm just going to give you guys some of the key things here. So it has multiple heads, and as you might guess, they're elemental based, right? So each head is aligned with fire, cold, or poison. All right.
Ooh.
Which I might, because it's got an air, a fire, and a water head in the image at least. I might do acid instead of poison. Just because I feel like water-based things would deal acid damage, if anything.
What does acid do to you? Because I know poison, you can get poisoned.
Yes, but only if it says that you can get poisoned.
Oh, okay. So like the damage is just a separate.
Yeah, poison
doesn't matter.
Yeah, poison damage is its own thing. Being the poisoned condition and poison damage are separate.
Oh.
So not everything that poisons you does poison damage, and not everything that does poison damage poisons you.
But everything that poisons you does poison damage. No, wait.
No.
But not everything that doesn't do poison damage doesn't poison you.
Yes.
That one was true?
I think so.
This all just sounds made up now.
I think that what you said was true. Anyway, I don't have any particular reason. Maybe it's just because so many things, from my perspective, maybe it's just in the campaign that we're doing right now, but so many things have resistance or immunity to poison damage. Acid damage just seems a little bit more.
Yep.
Like it would be better.
It would work better on the cannons, on the Eldritch Cannon. It would work better on Kinzoku.
Right.
And that's all I can think of off the top. Marty? No, he doesn't.
No.
He just kind of has high armor class. Anyway, it doesn't matter right now.
So it's a Hydra, right? So if every time it takes 20 damage or more in a single turn, one of its heads dies. But at the end of its turn, it grows 2 heads of the same type that was cut off. So maybe you roll randomly for which type gets cut off, and then 2 more of that type come out. If all of its heads get cut off, then it dies.
But also if it drops to 0 hit points, it dies?
Yes.
Does it gain hit points for regrowing a head?
Yes.
All 20 back? Or
it regains 10.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Yeah. I was going to say, like, in D&D, it's not like the Hydra will just regrow heads infinitely and just...
Right, exactly. But it does get... Oh,
wait, 10 per head. That is 20. Or is it just 10?
No, just 10.
Okay.
It just gets 10 back. So it gets half You might do more than 20 damage, right? But also, every head gets an attack.
Right.
So the more heads it has, the more damage it's doing.
So it gets more dangerous as you get closer to killing it.
Right, exactly. You know what, though? It does do acid damage. So it can spit cold fire or acid damage projectile within 30 feet of it. It's a dexterity saving throw, DC 15, taking 4d8.
You know what else gets more dangerous as you get closer to finishing it?
What's that?
Thai soup. All the spice gets down in the bottom of the soup.
Oh, yeah.
And you're trying to eat it, and you're like, oh, man, this isn't that bad. And then you get close to the bottom, and you're like, oh, shoot.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, like, lore this is a spicy soup.
Yeah. Have you had that? Have you had any
Thai soup? Probably. Yeah. I don't eat Thai food very often, but...
Me neither. I've had it maybe 2 or 3 times.
Right.
And one time I got soup, and the soup got cold, so you're eating it, and you're like, oh, it's just cold liquid. I'm sure that's fine. And then you, like, put it down, and you're going, and you're like, nope, still hot. And you could feel it cold against your mouth, and it's still hot.
But it's still hot. It's cold, but it's still hot.
Yeah. And it tricks you every time.
The cool thing, I think, about this Hydra, not to interrupt the soup.
Oh, it's fine. It's cool. I'll let you do it this time. Next time we're kicking you off the show.
Oh boy. Well, this Hydra, because it's elemental, I just I see it. I think it's cool lore wise too. Just like a Hydra got sucked into the elemental chaos and emerged, transformed, something like that.
Yeah, I can see some elemental stuff happening now. I'm getting the whole cataclysmic rift deal, I think. I'm starting to see some cataclysm happening.
Yep. It'll become more and more apparent as the story goes forward and unfolds, I think. But yeah, item number 2.
Number 2.
This
our second piece of homebrew.
This is user Mr. Nerdy.
Mr. Nerdy, all right.
Mm-hmm. This is a magic item.
Yeah.
Called the banana phone.
Okay.
So the banana phone it appears as an ordinary banana.
Yes.
It has low level magical energy, so it's hard to tell that it's magic at all.
Okay, kind of like how bananas have low level radiation.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so here are the effects of the banana phone. The banana does not spoil, but is as fragile as a regular non-magical banana.
All right.
All right. Got it.
So it can be squished if you put it in your pocket.
Right. It can be used as a spell casting focus. All right.
Okay, I'm liking the idea of using the banana phone
as a spell casting focus.
Just wait right there for a second. I'm going to fireball you real quick, but I'm going to get my focus out.
It's a banana.
Now, which end do you peel from to make it shoot the fireball out?
Oh, well, if you peel it, you can't unpeel a peeled banana. You would have to use it.
Oh, okay.
Unless you plant, because, okay, if a creature holds the banana phone to their head, they can make a DC 13 charisma check to cast Sending, the spell Sending, as a bonus action, not requiring material components.
Oh, so you can...
It's a banana phone.
Call someone on it.
Yep.
All right.
And Sending allows people to respond, so...
Oh, okay.
So really, it's a banana phone. So creatures that can see can see you holding a banana phone cannot discern whether or not the banana phone was used in a magical way when you do that. They have to succeed a DC 15 insight check to be able to tell if you were using the banana phone in a magical way or if you were just holding it up to your head like a moron.
All right. All right. I would love... Well, if you were the one that they were talking to on it, do they have to do the same check? Probably. I'm going to go with yes.
Yes.
I'm going to go with
maybe they get advantage.
No. No advantage. I'm thinking
disadvantage.
Did I just think in their voice? But that was weird. that was a weird time for that to happen. They just put their head on the banana, and then they'd grab it later and be like pressing it to their forehead and like smelling the banana and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that being great.
Are you ready for my favorite part?
Yeah.
The banana phone may be eaten like a non-magical banana at any time.
Does it still work after you eat it?
Nope. It's just destroyed. It's gone. Not only is it as fragile as a normal banana, it can be eaten as a normal banana at any time.
That's good though, because I guess if it couldn't be, and you like got captured, and they were like, "Are you using that banana magically?" And then they didn't pass the insight check, so they're not sure.
Yeah.
But they're still suspicious of you.
Yeah.
You could be like, "Nope, it's a banana. You just break
banana.
that thing in half and eat it."
This is the perfect item for subterfuge.
It really is.
It really
is good for that.
You know,
you just have to find the right person to give it to a party. Like, it can't be someone who's got all their screws tightened real tight.
It's got to go to the wacko.
Yeah.
In the group. Yeah.
I've never heard the saying in the reverse of having a screw loose. I've never heard of someone who has all their screws tightened.
Yep. They're well placed tightened screws.
Yeah. Never heard of that.
I'm imagining though, lore wise, in the canon of the game.
Yeah.
Bananas always emit low level magical energy.
Yeah, instead of radiation,
right.
Or in addition to radiation.
Right, exactly.
They are pretty magical.
So like you're going through the security check at the place, and they detect magic, and they're like, "Hey, what's this magical presence?" And then you pull out a banana, and you're like, "Oh, this is I brought a snack. I'm sorry, is that okay?" And they're like,
"Let me see that."
Yeah, exactly. They scan it, and it's like, okay, magical energy, but all bananas do.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well. Move along. And then you hold the banana to your head and you're like, I'm in.
So what if you fail the charisma save?
Yeah. Can
you tell that it's not working?
If you fail the charisma save.
Yeah. Is there like static or is it the same as if it worked?
Do you just
and you're
think
just like, hello?
You think you're sending this? You're just like, I want to say there's a dial tone. if it doesn't work,
shoot, no service.
Yeah, oh man.
You like hang it up?
Yeah.
And can you try again?
Try again. It's a bonus action to cast. I don't see why not.
Nice.
It doesn't say once per day. It doesn't have any limitations. I think you can do it as much as you want.
Yeah. All right, so listen.
Yeah.
I think one last topic for today.
That's perfect, yeah.
Reincarnation.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
All right.
No, this is good.
So, first off, there is reincarnation in D&D. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But I want to talk about how could you set it up so that way characters in D&D could believe in reincarnation in the way that people in this world believe in reincarnation. When in D&D, creatures provably have souls, and when they die, the soul is its own thing and doesn't usually go into another body. Generally speaking, it kind of just goes to another plane of existence.
Okay, so you're saying...
But these people believe
in
reincarnation.
Like generally in reincarnation. That everybody comes back.
Yeah.
Okay.
In general reincarnation.
I don't think that's too hard. Because...
anybody can believe weird stuff, and there can be a whole group of people who believe weird things. So that's true.
Sure. Yeah, because I think that a lot of there might be like there probably are like clerics or things like that who just believe that everybody who dies goes to, their gods, whatever, right? And the way that it works, I think, in D&D lore, I'm not totally sure, but I think the way it works is that souls are sort of claimed before they even die. Right. Like if you worship a particular god, then that's where your soul goes.
Yes.
When you die.
Yeah.
And it can be claimed by devils.
Yeah, I
Contract,
guess the way I said it, it sounded like the soul just kind of wanders off. But no, actually, it does. It kind of like, it gets ripped out and put somewhere. It's
taken. Yeah, it's taken somewhere, right? Exactly. And I just learned this recently. I was just reading about this recently, which is why it's interesting you bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
But there actually is a place that souls go if they don't have a claim.
Right.
They go to Hades.
Yeah.
Which is, and it's actually pretty terrible. They get turned into like a worm creature, and like you just are like a worm, and you still have some of your memories, but not all of them.
When you say worm, do you mean like dune sandworm, or do you mean like those little aquarium worms from that one aquarium in Japan? You know the ones I'm talking about?
More like grubs, like vile, like gross,
okay,
ineffectual, like
yes,
they can't do anything. They're pretty much useless.
Like inchworm.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and like certain
mealworm type deal. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
They're harvested by entities like night hags and stuff like that.
Well, what happens when those die?
Well, they're souls, right? So that's why they're harvested, because they're souls. You know.
What did they do to them?
Night hags use them to fuel their magic. They use souls for magic.
Oh, so the soul can be destroyed then?
I think so.
Is it consumed in the process?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think in the lore of, because that's how the devils get their power.
Okay, so there's the reincarnation then. Like they would believe that. So what they would probably do is ritualistically destroy the souls of people who die.
Oh yeah, because
they would
allow the soul to.
They would have a thing that like traps a soul, and they would destroy it so it could become another soul. That's probably how they'd see it. That makes sense now.
Oh, and that would explain why you don't remember your previous life. Because when you are reincarnated in D&D, I think you do.
You do. You absolutely do. So it's reincarnate is a 5th level spell.
Which isn't that high.
But basically what it does is it... Well, here, I kind of have it memorized, but you need to touch the body of, or part of the body of, a dead person who has died within the last 10 days.
Okay.
Whose soul is not bound and is willing to come into a body. The spell gives them a new body, a fully grown adult body. They retain all of their memories and experience and abilities, except for the things that change because their race is rolled randomly.
Yes. In
their new body. I love that.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
I absolutely love, because, all right, so you the player, you worked so hard. You came up with the perfect barbarian build for your Goliath barbarian. And man, it's a real killer. And they die in battle. But you find somebody who knows how to reincarnate them. And they come back as a gnome.
Hey, gnomes are pretty hardy, actually.
They're pretty hardy, but
they're not strong.
They're not strong.
That's true. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. Or the opposite. You made the perfect, like, stealthy rogue. You know, maybe you were Tabaxi.
Yep.
You know, like Tabaxi rogue. You know, really, really sneaky. And now you're reincarnated, and you're a half-orc.
Yeah, or a bugbear.
Yeah. Well, bugbears are actually naturally stealthy.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
They've got sneaky capabilities.
Who was I thinking of? There's some other. I mean, there are plenty of other good races who are not stealthy.
Like a Luxodon.
Yep.
Like a giant elephant.
Yep.
creature. Yeah. Or like a minotaur.
Yeah. Or whatever the fish people are. Locath.
Oh yeah, the Locath.
Locath.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, I don't know much about Locath, but
they're like fish people.
But I know they're fish people. Yeah.
And because of that, I think they're drippy all the time. Not sure, but I think so.
They're like sneaking around, and the guards are like, where'd this water come from?
And they're like, blah, 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 blah. In a past life, I was.
I was the mayor of Tabaxi. That's hilarious. That's great. No, reincarnate is a really interesting spell.
Yeah.
I think that I feel like not very many people would be willing. I think people would be more interested in rolling a new character than having their character reincarnated.
Yeah.
Because of it's
right. It's no longer an optimal character.
Right. You can't optimize it anymore. But that's exactly the reason why I think it would be so funny.
Yeah.
And so fun to do.
Well, plus maybe they're going to be good at something new.
Yeah, who knows?
Right? Like they might come back at level 5. You know, they might have died. I guess you could find somebody who could reincarnate them when they were level 5. They might come back as a different race that, like, you realize, hey, I'm actually within 1 stat point of a level up there. You know, like my intelligence, I wasn't gonna bother with it, but now I'm actually within a point of gaining a new intelligence point. So, like, I mean, why not do that?
Yeah, right? You could multi-class. I think you're right. I think it's more. It would be more. A player would probably be more willing to be reincarnated if they died at a low level.
Yeah.
Because at higher levels you've optimized so much, but at lower levels you have the opportunity to, there's more of an opportunity to multi-class or because you can't, because you retain all of your experience and your memories and everything, you can't like retcon your class.
No.
You have all those levels in that class.
Yeah, but you're in a new body, and you might be like, oh, hey, this I'm feeling some good magic coming from this thing.
Yeah, this thing feels like
I feel some magic between my cheeks, man.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that down there? Is that a tail? What?
Just Tim Allen
it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so interesting. I feel like I just feel like that would be so much fun. What would you like? What would be the funniest race for Liam to come back as? What do you think?
For Liam? Oh, crap. You know what? I'm actually going to see what's even possible here.
Oh, yeah. There's...
Because it's not every race. There's a set... Yeah.
I mean, in my campaign, there are certain races that don't exist in my setting.
Yeah.
Basically, that I've...
you know what, though, too? I think we would want to roll with even more of them than these. But I'm just looking at the list here. I see Dragonborn, not funny. Hill Dwarf, pretty funny.
That could be funny. Yeah.
That could be pretty good. Especially, no, I guess he wouldn't come back with the same clothes. We got Elves, not that funny. Gnome, probably not that funny either. I feel like a Gnome Arcanist is like...
That's like
That's the
Artificer, yeah. Like... In fact,
Artificer, yeah.
I think that that's the suggestion.
I think it would be hilarious if he came back as a half elf or half orc. Because how do you explain that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I get how you explain a regular. Like, okay, I don't know if you guys know how this works, but when you get a half elf, it's because you got a mommy elf and a daddy human, and the stork doesn't know which one to bring along. So it just is like, I'll just cut up 2 little babies and I'll sew them together at the waist.
At the waist? Oh, I always think cut in half vertically.
Yeah, I guess that could work too.
Because then you have like all the features.
Yeah.
But on both sides.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. That could be a good look. But how do you part your hair? Like, what if you end up with a double part?
Yeah, because if you're like a half orc, half of your head would have hair and half of it would. Do orcs have hair? Maybe they do.
I think they do. Yeah.
Never mind.
But like my hair, it parts like 3/4 of the way over.
Yeah, like over.
So if it was like that, and then that's where I got cut off, the other part of me could have it go the other way. So I got this weird like triple hair thing. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's that hair swirl problem. If it swirls both ways,
Mm-hmm.
and then it runs into each other on the back, and you got. I guess you would just go with a mohawk or something.
There you go.
You get like a natural mohawk going.
A nice.
You could braid it. You could put it in a French braid.
That could
all
look
the
nice.
time. Yeah.
That could look nice. I guess it depends on what your hair color is for both.
That would look cool, actually, if it was different for the two halves.
Yeah, that's what
if you got like a chocolate vanilla swirl going.
A chocolate vanilla swirl. Yeah, sure. That's one way to put it. Yeah. Oh man, if you're a half elf,
yeah.
All right, and you're a ginger human, you got that orange vanilla twist. Yeah. No, that's a classic. Orange vanilla twist.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. There's a creamsicle.
There you go.
I've never had a creamsicle. I don't know anything. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys.
That sounds delicious.
I'll admit it. Everything else I said, 100% confident. This one thing, no clue. I have no clue what I'm talking about.
With creamsicles?
Yeah.
They're tasty. I'll tell you that much.
You heard it here first, folks. All right, let's leave.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
You think we're done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
All right, guys. Catch you later.
Have a good one.
I miss you already.
Yeah, I wish we could stay, but we're out of stuff to talk about. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, come on, Basket.
Hey, good girl.
Good girl, Basket.